Okay, hey guys, I am here with Roberta from Greek Goes Keto, and we're going to make a carnivore pizza. We're here in Mostar, Herzegovina, and I had some last night. It was outstanding, and she's going to make another one and show us how to do it. So you guys follow along. She's going to explain how to do this.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Baker. I would like to show you Greek Goes Keto. I think this is the first carnivore recipe we ever published on GreekGoesKeto.com, guys. So as we are going live, hello to Greek Goes Keto fans as well. So here what you can see is a light mixture of veal, feta cheese and some eggs. I used about 6 eggs and 700 grams of veal. That would be a little bit more than a pound. The pound would be half kilo, so that's it. So we mixed it.
And what kind of eggs were those?
I use the hen eggs, the classical from our farm. Our farmer usually brings eggs, just a second. So you can see here, they're like medium eggs. You can use as many as you want. We used hen eggs for the dough, well, we call it dough. It's not actually a dough, it's a meat base. Let's say meat base for the pizza. And later I used beautiful quail eggs. Have a look here. Wow. Also from another farmer who brings it to us. We prefer quail eggs because you can use them in so many ways. They are very super nutritious. They have condensed nutrients, so they are even better than hen eggs for you. You can have them raw if you would like, and you should. You could just whip them up with some cinnamon and drink them, or hot water, cold water, whatever you prefer. And Greek Goes Keto fans know this thing as egg milk or avgotino, which is a kind of, we could say, carnivore cappuccino without coffee.
Got it.
So we are preparing the dough here. As you can see, the mixture is ready. I'm going to transfer it on.
Let me ask you about the feta cheese. You said you have to make sure it's only sheep or goat, right?
Yes, the actual authentic Greek feta cheese, it should be made of 70% goat and 30% sheep milk. But opposite, I think, sheep 70%, 30 goat milk. That's protected by Greek laws, and that's the only authentic Greek feta.
So
you can find goat feta, just pure goat feta, pure sheep, and some people call cows white cheese feta. That's not feta, guys. Feta has to be authentic A2 casein. You can find it all over USA. You can find it all over the world thanks to Greek diaspora. They brought feta everywhere. So we are now, this is just like a huge patty made with eggs and feta cheese. So I didn't add any spices here.
Can you use ground beef if you don't have veal?
Of course, okay? Of course, you can use any ground meat. In fact, I would prefer ground lamb. Ground lamb would be very tasty here. Mutton as well. Buffalo, whatever in your country is like easy to find. You can use venison. You can use any type of meat. Ask your butcher to mince it 2 times. If you don't have a butcher, then okay, regular mincemeat will work, but just you can maybe use a food processor to make it a little bit more compact so that it looks more like a dough. I'm gonna create a round shape so that it looks like a real pizza, but it's gonna be a carnivore pizza. So on the edges, I want to create like a small wall which will prevent the sauce from leaking. And why I'm doing that? Because I don't want to lose my beautiful egg-based sauce, which is going to imitate tomato sauce with 0 tomatoes. So we're just going to use quail eggs. As you've seen, I showed you, I cracked some 20 quail eggs. They broke because I was cracking them from high distance from top, but it's like they're super fresh. The farmer told me that they were laid yesterday, and they're super fresh. You can feel it in the flavor. We've been taking some of them raw, and we ate them in carnivore tiramisu mixed with mascarpone cheese and some. Well, you gotta add some flavoring. Some of you carnivores, guys, maybe you don't want to use even herbs. don't use it. Use just sea salt and black pepper, whatever you want. But if you want a real pizza, you have to have those Mediterranean herbs, Mediterranean feelings. You know, it gives the energy to the meal. And if you want to impress somebody, if you want to say to somebody that carnivore diet is not blunt, it's not boring, it's not like eating steak constantly, then do use a little bit of spices. Nothing's gonna happen. And you don't need a lot. So I'm gonna wash my hands.
And there's no seasoning in this pizza right now.
Feta is the only seasoning.
Feta, okay.
is extremely salty and it's gonna give us this great salty umami flavor. And meat was very fresh, so because we use the fresh meat, it will also be very tasty. We already have the oven on 200 degrees Celsius, which is around 400 Fahrenheit. But you could work with any temperature that is higher than 150. So it's like just have the oven hot, that's important. So now we're gonna whisk my quail eggs. Have a look here. This is gonna become our sauce. We will, just a moment, we will make like an emulsion. You see, it's going to be very similar like you're scrambling eggs for breakfast or whatever you like to do. We have a little bit shell here. Let's remove it. Let me tell you something. Shell is edible. What you can do after you use quail eggs or hen eggs, you just put it in the oven for 100 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes at 100 degrees Celsius, which is the boiling temperature. So whatever is this in Fahrenheit, 200,
212,
let's say.
yeah.
212. Okay. So for 10 minutes. And after that, let them cool down and just ground them in a coffee grinder. And you get yourself eggshell powder, very high in calcium. It even has some magnesium. So you could add it to eggs, this powder, you can add it. It's like a natural old-fashioned bodybuilder's supplement. They used to do this. So don't waste your quail eggs, especially if they're organic from a farm. They are super good for you. So here's our emulsion, which is going to be our sauce.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to add something typical Greek. So I'm gonna bring it up. I don't know if your camera can show it. Yeah, so this is, let's read it in Greek. And for those of you who are Greeks, you see that it says migma ya gyro, which means the mixture for gyros. So, you guys know about gyros. This is this meat on a skewer, which is like round. It's turning around and it's being baked from the top, and as they're cutting it off, then another layer is being baked or roasted or grilled, depending what type of temperature, the heater they're using. So I'm going to add a little bit of it. You add as much as you want. I have here definitely red paprika powder, garlic powder, oregano, which is very Mediterranean. There's some red and white pepper mixture. There's some thyme, some sage, some ground bay leaf, which is very Mediterranean. So you just play with your herbs, whatever you like, add with it. But don't forget rosemary. Rosemary helps you digest meat. For those people who are having problems to digest large amounts of meat and they're just starting the carnivore diet, they're not used to eating so much meat, get some rosemary and you will see it's gonna get so much easier to digest meat. So I'm gonna add some of this mixture. As you can see, there are some flakes of dried garlic and I think they also have dried onion, but we'll not overdo it. We'll just give it some orange hue to make it really red. We're gonna add some smoked Hungarian smoked paprika. Paprika is such versatile spice. You know that they add it to many dishes which are made with mincemeat, so this is gonna be great. So this is our carnivore imitation of a tomato sauce. You see what we get here?
So quail eggs and a little bit of spices, yeah.
That's it, quail eggs. You can use hen eggs. If you don't have quail eggs, don't worry. We're using quail eggs because just at the moment we have them and we want to enjoy them. But you guys, without problem, you can use, let's say, duck eggs. Why not duck eggs? Any eggs, whatever eggs you have. it's gonna work perfectly. So I'm just gonna whisk it a little bit more to unify all the spices. And it's ready. I'm gonna take a spoon so we can nicely apply it to our pizza. So, just a moment. Here we are. I don't know if you can see, guys.
So this was 20 quail eggs?
This was about 20 quail eggs. I would use 8 to 10 hen eggs for a large pizza. For pizza of this size, 6 would be enough.
Okay.
So now we're gonna be generous. We're gonna put it all over. So you see, it's like tomato sauce. You know how the Italians are putting tomato, some carbs on more carbs. We don't do that. We put a lot of protein, some good fats, and our carbs will be minimum. So here's the question. How many carbs in 100 grams of feta? Greek Goes Keto fans know this. Do you know, Dr. Baker? How many grams, milligrams or grams of carbs in 100 grams of feta cheese? Okay, so it's goat and sheep, and it's fermented. Now,
Let's say
in some
8 grams. I don't
8
know.
grams. Yeah.
8 grams.
So
Am I guessing?
in
Am I right?
100 grams there is 0. I don't know if I can show this sign.
0.
In every languages it means different. 0. This is the only 0 carb cheese.
Oh wow, okay.
So feta is very safe. Guys, if you are not sure, some of you are doing keto and you are watching your carbs, if you're worried about it, go for feta, because feta is made of goat and sheep milk, which already has only 4 grams of carbs per liter per 100 ml of milk. So after fermentation, these 4 grams disappear.
Oh, okay.
Because feta cheese is made with a lot of salt. When you add salt to milk, you get a lot of whey, and the bacteria are eating all the carbs. They need this lactose in order to make fermentation, to make cheese. So the good guys, the good bacteria is gonna eat all those carbs, and you will be super safe with feta. You don't have to count how much you're gonna use it. Use it as much as you love it. It's like we used half a kilo in this. In the pizza we made yesterday, here is maybe approximately 400 grams of feta, which we crumbled with our hands. Always use our hands, wash your hands, don't use those gloves, plastic gloves. They're like more dangerous than your hands if you wash them properly. Here we have goat cheese and smoked cow's cheese. So you can see how white is goat cheese. Goat cheese is our favorite. Greek Goes Keto has an article about it, why goat cheese is good for you, why you should search more for goat dairy. It's A2 casein. It's not only that, it has a different profile of minerals, different profile of aminos. It's super digestible, easy to digest. People who cannot digest cow's milk, they don't have problem. Usually they don't have problem with goat's milk. And what's interesting, human milk is extremely similar to goat's milk. Our old, as we say in Greek, yayades, which is grandmas, they used to give goat milk to babies when a mother wouldn't have milk for breastfeeding. So they would just save the child by giving to baby some goat milk. So this was a great idea, and nobody had problems with it. So let's put some of goat cheese all over our pizza, as we would put it on classical pizza, which is carby pizza by our neighbors Italians. Mamma mia, here we go. Mamma mia, we think we have better pizza than you guys. I mean the carby Italians. So we're gonna just now switch to meat again. Here I have beef prosciutto. We do not, on Greek Goes Keto, we do not promote pork and chicken due to omega-6, high amount of omega-6, very low amount of, I mean the ratio is on a side of omega-6. So we go for ruminant animals, and that's why we have here beef prosciutto. It's actually veal or calf prosciutto, which is made exactly the same method like classical prosciutto. Garlic was rubbed on a piece of meat, then they added some sea salt, black pepper, and they smoked it for approximately a month over not really fire, over smoke. They had like smoke constantly for a month, and it got dry like this. So here we go. We are not putting ham, we are putting, as Italians would, we are putting some beef prosciutto. This is making it very much carnivore, but at the same time it's making it Mediterranean, because we the Mediterraneans we love our smoked meat, like pancetta or anything can be made of beef or mutton. It's very popular here in this area where we are, dried mutton. It's usually smoked. I also have some beef. Dr. Baker told me you in America call this pepperoni, we just call it beef sausage. Same method, just ground meat and then smoked. And that's it. No additives, no artificial stabilizer. This is from a small farm, and it's like, here you can see some blackness. These are pieces of black pepper. So it's nothing. Black pepper and some salt. They do add a little bit garlic powder for the flavor. So we're gonna add this sausage, and this is interesting what you're gonna see. I put goat cheese on the bottom, and I'm gonna finish it with smoked cow's cheese, which is gonna melt nicely on top, and it's gonna keep all the things together, and it's gonna look like a real pizza. Now, if you're not very strict, you could add some oregano. You could add any spices, for example, pickled red horn peppers, what we did last night for the carnivore version. But for 100% carnivore, we are not going to add anything but animal-based ingredients. Here we are. I think this could be more than enough. It's a rich pizza. Okay, I'm just gonna wash my hands quickly, and we're gonna pop it in the oven and wait for approximately 15 to 20 minutes. We're gonna watch it, and when it's ready, you will see how great it looks. And Dr. Baker will try it, so we'll see how it tastes. Okay.
Can't wait to try it. So, putting it in the ovens, and we'll come back when it's done.
Okay. So I have it at 200 degrees Celsius for let's put it between 10 and 20 minutes. 15 minutes, that would be enough. So see you later.
Okay, pizza is ready. Is that right?
Ready. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Okay.
It was like 15 to 16 minutes.
Let's check it out. Coming out.
We
of this.
wanted it to be a little bit.
Now you put it on butcher's paper. Looks like
Yes, I put it on actually parchment paper.
parchment paper. Okay.
Here it is, our carnivore pizza.
Wow, that looks awesome.
Looks
delicious.
Some
yes,
of the,
you're gonna try it.
So some of the cheese melted off the sides, huh? A little bit.
Yeah,
So.
we're gonna just let it cool like for 2 minutes before we're gonna cut it. Because, okay, the stove top is crying. Because if you cut it right away, maybe the patty, the crust will fall apart. Also, what you can do, if you like a little bit like chewy or to be tougher, the base, then you can pre-bake it. Bake it like for 10 minutes, and then add the toppings and bake it again.
Okay.
And then it's gonna be awesome.
So where do we find this recipe?
RicosKeto.com is the website. We also have a YouTube channel, but I'm not sure that we published a video version of this recipe, so this will be the first time on YouTube. It's in the carnivore section, but you can also just type in the search option keto or carnivore pizza, and then you will get 2 recipes. There's a simple one. We use now a little bit more complicated, but it's not complicated. It's like ready. It was ready in 5 to 10 minutes. If you have everything ready in the fridge, you can make it for many, like for guests, for friends, for people who don't believe that carnivore can be delicious and enjoyable, and for parties, because it can. Everybody loves meat, everybody loves cheese, everybody loves eggs. Most people love eggs. So what's not to like?
That's awesome. So GreekGoesKeto.com, and you can find the
That's
recipe.
the website.
I'll link that in the video, guys, for you guys to check out at the bottom on the description for you guys. All right, let's let this rest, and we'll eat it in just a second.
Just a second, yeah. So it's ready. Let's see what the boys will think.
All right. Well, that looks
The
good.
carnivore boys.
That looks awesome. Look at that thing.
It's more like pie, but Okay, we made a thick patty.
Should we cut into it, or you want to cut
Yeah.
into it for us?
Okay, I'll cut it.
You got
So
the
let's
expertise.
cut it first in half.
Wow, that looks good.
Make sure that it's cut well.
Yum yum.
Does it smell good?
It smells delicious. Wow. I wish I had smell-o-vision on the camera because it smells delicious.
Yeah. Okay, it's juicy. So guys, if you want a drier crust, you can just pre-bake the meat patty a little bit. The meat, let's call it base. So let's cut a piece. Here we are. Look at your
That
plate,
looks hot.
please.
That's hot.
It is hot, but it's delicious. I'm sure.
Deep dish
Let's
pizza.
see. Let's see if Lucas will like it as well. Can I get your plate? Here you are. Carnivore pizza
Are you guys
by
ready to
Greek
try?
Prosciutto.
You ready to try?
So we hope
Take a
you
little
guys
bite
will
off.
try too. Let's see what the boys think.
Let's blow on it.
Is it very hot?
Mmm.
Mmm. Mmm. Mmm.
Is it good? I'm
That's-
glad.
Yummy.
Is it
Excellent.
yummy?
Wow.
That's
10
exactly
out of 10
what I
would
want
eat
you to
again.
do. So if you have
Absolutely.
10 out of
kids,
10.
if you have kids, this is kid safe.
It tastes
Because
like
it-
a hero.
Kind of reminds you of a hero.
Like a
little bit.
hero. Yeah,
hero
so
pizza.
tastes very much Greek. That's exactly what was our point. We wanted to make something Mediterranean, something Greek, and at the same time carnivore. So guys, do as we do, and you will be enjoying your carnivore or ketovore or ketogenic lifestyle. So stay ketonized to the full potential. It's good.
Wow. that
I'm
really
glad.
is.
I'm glad you like it.
That-
I'll bring you a small knife.
That beef prosciutto and the beef pepperoni, we're going to call it.
Probably
Outstanding.
one of the
Mixed
best
with the cheese.
pizzas.
This
Probably
is-
one of
this
the
is
best
excellent.
pizzas I've ever had because I've
Awesome.
never had
Really?
it before.
Oh, we got a really nice compliment. And coming from a kid, guys, kids are very good judges. If they like it, everybody will like it.
I like the little tomato sauce, you know, the faux tomato sauce. It's really
Yeah,
good.
it's
Yeah.
not real, it's fun.
It tastes like real tomato sauce.
But it's
Way
not.
better. Quail eggs.
It's quail
Interesting.
eggs, which means
Wow.
there's no anti-nutrients in it like tomato actually has. Some people can't even digest tomato, so it's a nightshade, you know, it's a tricky thing. It can influence your gut microflora, so go for eggs rather, and some spices, much better, much safer than tomato. And also, tomato have carbs, don't forget. If you're gonna use the tomato paste, industrial tomato paste, then you will get some added sugar, right, doctor?
Excellent. Well, I'll tell you, this has been so awesome. And I know for you guys who are interested, Roberta has a carnivore pasta she's going to teach us how to make on another video. So you guys, thank you so much. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about carnivore pizza and your favorite recipes. All right, take care, everybody.
And think about Greco's Keto Carnivore retreats. Maybe next year with Dr. Baker
We'll
in
do this.
Greece.
We'll do this in Greece next year, guys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, that's all.